Hi everyone, thank you for joining again. This tutorial is actually a rather old tutorial because I posted it in German a while ago and now I finally had time to translate everything in English, so I hope you enjoy it. So for this bag we will need a leather set that consists of the bottom of the bag as well as this leather band that we will fix in our bag like this. Then we will need the D-rings again and a lock. For the back I use rope yarn as usual. This time it's 3 millimeters, and you will need 2 balls that have 130 meter each. Like usual, everything is linked below. So we start by making normal stitches all around the back bottom. So you go like this, pull it through the first hole, and then close the stitch on the edge of the bottom like this. Depending on how far the holes are away from each other, you will have to make 1 or 2 stitches for each hole. If you use the same bottom that I use, I would recommend 2 stitches per hole. Like this, yes. This is how the bottom should look like in the end. Then you cut the thread, burn the end with the lighter and pull it through like this. Then we will use our darning needle and make what I call a fake stitch. It's not the official name, but I don't know the official name, so let's call it like this. Poke with the needle through the first stitch of the row, pull the thread through, and then bring it back to the middle of the last loop, and it will look like a normal stitch. So if you watched my last tutorials, then you know that I really like this decorative little edge here. And in order to get this edge, you have to make the next stitches below the loops that are shown here. Means it will look like this now. We poke through the shown loop, pull the thread through, then make a chain stitch first. Don't make a chain stitch first. Make a normal stitch right away. Sorry. Be aware to not let loose the end of the thread. And you go on like this. Poke through below this little loop and make the normal stitch. You can already see that the edge is becoming visible. Go on like this for the whole round. So as soon as the bag reaches the height that you like, we will work in this leather band. Therefore, this is how your bag should look like now. And you should now squeeze in the sides every now and then to see if it already gets a nice shape here. And if this is the case, it's the right height for going on with the leather band. So we will now fix the leather band like I said. squeeze in the sides a little, then place it around, and as soon as it is in the place you like, we go on with normal stitches. And to fix the leather band, we will do the stitches like follows. This is wrong. I'm sorry, this is wrong. The thread shouldn't be placed in front of the needle, so please don't do what I'm doing there at the moment. This is wrong. This is right. You poke through and then pull the thread to the front and to the top and close the stitch then. This is how it should look like. So in total I fixed the leather band in 5 different areas, at both edges here, in the back, and on the edges of the other side. But if you want to fix it in less areas, it's of course up to you. For the top of the back, there are 2 possibilities how you can make it. For this gray back, I work it in one piece, like you can see here. And you do that by crocheting the row until you reach the size that you like. Then make a chain stitch and just turn around and go all the way back. And how you do the pattern here, I will show you in the next step. But for this light colored bag, for this beige bag, I decided to make it in 2 parts. So I will start a new piece in the next step. So here you can see how the top is done. I made 1 row of chain stitches, then went back the row with normal stitches. I'm in the beginning of row 3 now, and it starts with a normal stitch again. To start the pattern now, we poke in row number 1, like I do here, then pull the thread through and to the top and close this stitch. Then you make a normal stitch again, and then you poke in row number 1 again, pull the thread through and to the top and close this stitch. So now you go on like this until you reach the end of the row, then you make a chain stitch, turn around again, and then go back with 1 row of normal stitches. So here you can see how it should look like now. There's the chain stitch for turning the row. Now we will make 1 normal stitch again. And now the pattern starts. As you can see here, we poke through below the threads that we pulled through, like this, pull it up, put the thread up to the top again and close this stitch. Then you make another normal stitch, and again poke through below the threads. Now pull the thread through, pull it to the top far enough, and close the stitch. Again 1 normal stitch, and so on. So let's summarize that again. We have one side where you can see this little pattern here, and we have the other side of the top where you don't have a pattern. On the side with the pattern, you always go in turn 1 normal stitch and then pull through the thread, through the thread of the last row. In this way you will get this pattern on the one side. So always 1 normal stitch and 1 pull through stitch in turn. At the end of the row you make one chain stitch, turn around and go back the whole row with normal stitches. So that's it. I hope you like your new bag, and if you like the tutorial, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. If you have any questions left, just write a comment and I will try to answer everything.